Whoa! Ha! Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. The house we are in. The house we are in. How's it going? What's cracking, baby? How's everybody doing? What up, Jason Eva? What up, Bad Buddha? Mute Barbecue, Big Bad Wolf, Lane Stewart, Suddetech, Full Killer, all of y'all. Welcome to the Sang. Yeah. Oh, I need to press that one. How's everybody doing? I just spent like we were just shooting the Don family Christmas card in here, which meant I like moved the DJ booth, some stuff, and we did like a photo shoot. It actually came out great in the end. At the time it was like muy difícil. It was muy difícil, but we got there. And now it's great. It looks like one of those classic old-timey ones. It looks like the one like one of JFK's ones. You know, it looks like it's like a presidential. It's a nice Christmas card. So we have a Christmas card. But it took a little longer than I thought it was going to take. We're all ill and shit. Mama Don's all sniffing and what have you. She there with a box of tissues. Herky nearly had like an aneurysm. We wanted to get the cat in the shop, but to get to the studio we have to traverse an area of land that's got dogs on it. And Herc was terrified of the dogs eating the cat, you know. So the cat did not end up in the thing. And also I tried to like arrange it, so I like went out there and like rounded up the dogs and put them in a dog place and all that, and then the cat ran away and hid somewhere. But the cat did not want to be in the Christmas card. Anyway, how are you doing? Jonathan Creed says, if any of y'all missed the Outwitting the Devil stream, check it out soon. Life changing. That's what we did on the weekend. We live scored Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, the 1937 classic. Someone left a message that said, I don't know where you get off calling it a 1937 classic when either it was actually written in 1938 and wasn't released till 2010. I said, nobody likes a pedant. And nobody does. Let that be your wisdom for the day. Nobody likes a pedant. Nobody appreciates a pedant. And you won't get very far in life pedanting. You know what I mean? Instead, you should be great, and you should act in manners that generate a feeling of glory. And that's what we're doing today. We're playing music that generates a feeling of glory. I realized I tag a huge amount of music in my DJ library with the word glory, music in the MEANINGWAVE catalog. And I realized that glory is one of the foundational pillars of the MEANINGWAVE sound. We will be exploring that today. And why not start where we stand? MEANINGWAVE, make some noise!
Start where you stand, never mind the past.
Aye.
The past won't help you in beginning and new.
If you
left it all behind at last.
At last.
Why that's enough, you're done with it.
Yes, sir.
Where you stand, never mind the past. The past won't help you in beginning and new. If you left it all behind at last. Why that's enough, you're done with it. Get through. This is another chapter in the book. This is another race that you have planned. Don't give the vanished days a backward look. Start where you stand, start where you stand. The world won't care about your old defeats if you can start dealing with success. The future is your time and time is place. Bear as much of what constraint and stress. Forget the very words of their despair. There is a brand new trial right at hand. The future is for him who doesn't dare. Start where you stand, start where you stand. Start where you stand. Never mind the past. The past won't help you in beginning anew. And if you left it all behind the past, why that's enough, you're done with it, you do. Never mind the past. The past won't help you in beginning anew. And if you left it all behind the past, why that's enough, you're done with it, you're through. I'll raise my heart, I'll translate. Today's the thing, tomorrow soon will be. Get in the fight and face it unafraid, and leave the past to ancient history. What's been is been.
Whoa.
Yesterday's dead. And by it you would need a plus, no band. Take courage, man. Be brave and try to help where you stand. Start where you stand.
Hey. Oh no.
Start where you stand. Never mind the past. The past won't help you in beginning anew. And if you left it all behind the past, why that's enough, you're done with it, you start where you stand. Never mind the past. The past won't help you in beginning anew. And if you left it all behind the past, why that's enough, you're done with it, you're through.
Whoa. That's right, baby. Start where you stand. Don't start in some other place. Don't start over yonder. Don't start next week. Don't start the other place. Begin where thou art. Kick it off where thou be. You dig. That's Akira The Don. Lyrics adapted from the poem by Burton Bradley, written about 100 years ago. One of a whole gang of powerful, joyful, gloriful Akira The Don and Burton Bradley bangers, of which there are many. Shouts out to Bradley in the chat, says Jesus is God, Christmas is a miracle. Yes it is. Ain't that the realness? Nuke the lake from orbit. All of you that are gathered hither, do me a favor. Jihad has been declared on the like button. You need to attack that with everything you have. Harry Carey on the lake. Harry Krishna on the lake. Harry met Sally on the lake. Harry Styles on the lake. Hey, here's the thing. Here's a fact. I have never heard a Harry Styles song, but I did DJ his birthday party once. Literally the only song I've heard is one of his old band, One Direction, but it's the shred version. You remember when people were doing shreds, they would take a music video, remove the sound, and then they would dub their own sound and make silly noises and shit? And I heard the shred version of one of their songs. I fucking loved it. It was brilliant. Story of my life. That one. Story of my life. Never heard the proper version, and I don't intend to. Some things in life are unnecessary.
Yo, nothing is more pathetic than people who run around in circles, delving into the things that lie beneath, and conducting investigation into the souls of the people around them, when all you have to do is pay attention to the power inside you and worship it sincerely. Keep it becoming muddled with turmoil, becoming aimless and dissatisfied with nature. Just worship it sincerely. Keep it becoming muddled with turmoil, becoming aimless and dissatisfied with nature. Divine and human. Divine deserves our respect because it is good. Good. What is human deserves our reflection because it is like us. What is divine deserves our respect because it is good. What is human deserves our reflection because it is like us. Yeah.
Pity. The sequel.
And I pity too, sometimes, for its inability to tell good from bad. It's terrible, a blindness, that's the kind that can't tell white from black. Even if you're gonna live 3,000 more years or 10 times that, remember, you can't lose another life than this one. You can't live another down, you're losing. Longest amounts to the same as the shortest. The present is the same for everyone. Is lost is the same for everyone. And it should be clear that a brief instant is all that is lost. Cause you can't lose either past or the future. How could you lose what you don't have? Remember two things.
One.
Everything has always been the same.
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 Keeps recurring. Ay, ay. Everything has always been the same. 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 That it keeps recurring. What is divine deserves our respect because it is good. What is human deserves our affection because it is like us. What is divine deserves our respect because it is good. What is human deserves our affection because it is like us. Yo. Everything has always been the same. Everything has always been the same. Everything has always been the same. Yo, everything is the longest lived and those who will die soonest lose the same thing. The present is all they can give up. The present is all they can give up. Since that's all you have, and what you do not have, you cannot lose. Ay, ay, ay. That's all you have, and what you do not have, you cannot lose. That's all you have, and what you do not have, you cannot. Deserves our respect because it is good. What is mine deserves our respect because it is good. What is mine deserves our respect because it is good. What is human deserves our affection because it is good. What is good? What is good? What is good? What is good? What is good?
I actually have a fairly simple way of dealing with these situations. It is actually one word to deal with all those situations. And that is good. And this is actually something that one of my guys that work for me pointed out to me. He would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. One day he was telling me about some issue that he was having. He said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. You're going to say good. You're going to say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. when something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say, good.
G-O-O-D in the place to be. What's up?
Good.
Ow.
And I said, well, yeah. And I mean it.
How you doing at that?
And that is how I feel when things are going bad. There's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. We can keep it simple. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Didn't get funded? Good. We own more of the company. Didn't get the job you wanted? Good. You can get more experience and build a better resume.
Okay, what?
You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good.
Oh.
You're gonna say good. Good. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Good. Needed a break from training. Got tapped out. Good. It's better to tap in training than to tap out on the street. Got beat. Good. You learned. Unexpected problems. Good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. Good.
Because I'm talking with the person who gave us the AMA, gave me Blue Church, Jordan Hall. And part of that is this idea, which is the religion that's not a religion, and trying to come up with a post-religious faith. Because here's the idea. This is probably, in some ways, my most radical idea. I want to do what like Augustine did as the Roman Empire is falling. He laid the foundation. He laid the cultural cognitive grammar for an entirely different culture. And then he stole the culture bottom up. He laid the cultural cognitive grammar for an entirely different culture. And then he stole the culture bottom up. I want to help steal the culture. Right. Steal it away. Steal it away. I want to help steal the culture. Away. Steal it away. Steal it away. And do everything I can. Do everything I can. I want to help steal the culture. Away. Steal it away. Steal it away. The imperial system at some point clamped down again, but nevertheless we shifted out of antiquity. We shifted to a different world. So I want to try and do that. I want to try and create the systems of meaning, the religion that's not a religion, the ecologies of practices, the communities, the networks of communities. All of this is already happening. Really empower it, both in terms of its grammar, give it the best scientific tools for engineering the practices and the ecology of practices. I basically want to steal the culture. I want to help steal the culture. Right. Steal it away. Steal it away. I want to help steal the culture. Away. Steal it away. Steal it away. And do everything I can. Do everything I can. I want to help steal the culture. Away. Steal it away. Steal it away. The people who have been abusing us for such a very long time. And I usually don't speak politically because I think that political framing is often a deep misrepresentation of the issue, at least the way in which political discourse has been sort of been ossified. It's been ossified in ways that make choice no longer really relevant. And, Christianity stole the culture away from the elites of its time. Now, new elites formed. They always will. But the culture changed, and it changed in an important way. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I see myself doing with a lot of these other people. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I see myself doing with a lot of these other people. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. Steal it away. Do everything I can. Do everything I can. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. Steal it away. What it is to not play their game and to shift over to a totally different game, to shift the culture. It's to steal the culture. The only thing I can get from history that's been able to do that are religions. But for reasons that I've articulated, I don't want, not personally, I mean in terms of the functionality, I don't think the standard model, the axial age model of religion is going to do what we need in order to steal the culture as deeply as we need to steal it.
Use this gospel.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. You've heard of animals chewing off a leg to escape a trap? That's an animal kind of trick. Would remain in the trap. Endure the pain, feigning death that he might kill the trapper and remove a threat to his kind. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? To determine if you're human. Be silent. It burns. Silence. His world emptied of everything except the hand immersed in
you're doing. Fear is cringe and gay. Pay no mind. Fear no like button. Attack like button. As if thou had nothing to fear from that thing.
As though the switch had been turned off, the pain stopped.
Pain stopped.
Enough. Take your hands from the box, young human, and look at it.
Do it, do it, do it.
He jerked his hand from the box, stared at it astonished. Not a mark. No sign of agony on the flesh. He held up the hand, turned it, flexed the fingers. She sniffed. A human can override any nerve in the body. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear.
Fear is the mind killer.
Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path.
Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. On the eye will remain.
Grace.
Hey.
Well, ask God, maybe he'll give it to you. And the theologian will tell you, yes, God gives his grace freely. He gives it to all because he loves all. It's here like the air. All you have to do is receive it. Or a more orthodox, a Catholic Christian would say, all you have to do is to be baptized, to take the holy sacrament of the altar, the bread and wine, the body and blood of Christ, and there is the grace right there. And it's given by these simple physical means so that it's very easily and readily available. Well, a lot of people got baptized, and it doesn't always take. People fall from grace. Why do they? You see, we're just talking about the same old problem, but we've put it a step up. But it's the same problem. How can I improve myself? Was the first problem. The second problem is, you want grace. You want grace. You want grace. You want grace.
Alright.
You want grace.
Grace.
You want grace.
Pues en Asia. Pues en Asia. ¿Qué quieres?
You want grace.
Who wants it? Damien Labonte says, wow, this is incredible.
You want.
That is a good point, well made. Lane Stewart says fear is praying to the devil, which is true. Jason Eva, representing MEANINGWAVE, says fear, put a chick in it.
You want grace.
That's a South Park reference if you didn't know. The next line is put a chick in it, make it gay and lame. That was pretty funny. That made me snort laugh.
You want grace.
Marcus says amazing prayer. Exactly.
You want grace.
Chad Comsirk is agreeing with Mute Barbecue, who must have said something about that like button and the vengeance that must be enacted upon it.
You want grace.
Nuke smash that like button. Here's a fucking thing. We've been streaming for over half an hour. I've barely spoken to you. I did not realize. It's one of those ones I could have just like straight gone into like a gig type of a set. I could have, you know what I mean? I was feeling those vibes. I remember I should also converse with you. You know, you are here.
Grace.
you know, we are this is gathering.
You are great.
This is the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. So yeah, we listened. What have we listened to? We had Start Where You Stand. We had Divine Human with Marcus Aurelius. We had Good with Jocko. I didn't mean to play that, but like he said, what is divine deserves our respect because it is good. And then I thought, ooh, would that work? And it did work. You know, it's nice when things work. Then we had Steal the Culture with John Vervaeke and a little sneaky bit of Use This Gospel from Kanye. You know what I mean? Yeah, to the. And then we moved into Litany Against Fear, and then we moved into with Danika XIX lyrics adapted from the Dune novels, you know, the Dune Wave LP. Then we got a little bit of Alan Watson Grace going on, you know.
Great.
And if that ain't nice, I don't know what is. Frankly, how are you all doing? By Jove. Jonathan Creed is in the house. Says, I am very grateful for all of your inspirational endeavors, Akira The Don. Well, thank you very much. Amanda's here. She says, I took that like button out back and showed him how to be a real like button. Holy shit. Wow. How about that? It ain't even the Meaningwave office Christmas party yet. That's on Friday, and that's the kind of thing I imagine will probably be going down at the Meaningwave office Christmas party on Friday.
You are great.
Thank you, Amanda, for leading the way. Triode is cooking for Christmas. Proud of you. Cameron said that good transition was sick. Appreciate you. Bradley says Grace is my favorite Pokemon character. You guys crack me up.
You are great.
Yo, it's Christmas, baby. How y'all feeling out there? Let's get that international high five in before I get back into my bag. Back in my proverbial bag.
You are great.
Yo, I was going through the Meditation's latest mixes, Masters of Meditations 2 today. It's the final tweaking phase. Just little tiny little things, but it makes such a difference, right? Because crazy things that make a difference, right? Like,
you are great.
if you like, you know, you're trying to make all the instruments all stand out and have their own space, right? And in doing that, like sometimes a mix engineer will, you know, cut some of the lower frequencies off of a piano, for example, to make room for a bit of a guitar. But if you do that, like the lower frequency of that piano might have been doing something really important, like driving the thing forward. And you can completely change a song by doing shit like that. It's amazing. Anyway, we're in the very final tweaking stages of Meditations 2, getting it just right. You know? Obviously, I don't believe in perfection. Perfection doesn't exist, and you shouldn't bother trying to chase it.
You are great.
What is perfect to you today will not be tomorrow, because tomorrow you will be different. But I do believe in greatness, and I do believe in glory. Meditations Volume 2 is greatness and glory combined, and you deserve nothing less.
You are great.
I also today got the first track of another album to Level 5. Those of you that know me know my production style involves working on tracks and getting them to certain stages
You are great.
in a batching process. So I write all the songs, that's Level 1. I kind of produce, get the first level of production, the chords and melodies and so on, that's like Level 2. You know, I start filling it out, getting in the instruments and getting in the shape of the thing, Level 3. Level 5 is when it's done from my end, and then it gets, you know, sent off to James to do the final mix mastering. So the first track of another album got to Level 1 today, Level 5 today. And that's a fucking banging record. And frankly, if it wasn't for the fact that my distributor closed for Christmas, you would get that one on January 1st. I don't know what you're going to get on January 1st yet. How about that? I'm not sure yet. Obviously, it's tradition. I always give you something hard and epic on January 1st.
You are great.
Anyway, we were talking about doing an international high five, weren't we? The international high five is a tradition we have around these parts. We go boom and have a high five like that all at the same time. Binds us together across space and time. Unifies us and our energies is a powerful thing. To do the international high five, all I need to know, brothers and sisters, is where you are and how hyped you are for Christmas. That's all I need to know today. Where are you? How hyped for Christmas are you? Let me know. You
are great. They're both the same problem. Because you got to make a move.
You got to make a move.
Which will put yourself out of your own control into the control of a better. If you don't believe in the Christian kind of a God, you can believe in the Hindu kind of a God, who is your inner self. You see, you've got a lower self, which you can call your ego. That's that little scoundrelous fellow. Always out for me. But behind the ego, there is the Atman, the inner self. The inward light, as Quakers would call it. The real self, the spirit, which is substantially identical with God. So you've got to meditate in such a way that you identify with your higher self. How do you do that? Well, you start by watching all your thoughts very carefully, watching your feelings, watching your emotions, so that you begin to build up a sense of separation between the watcher and what is watched.
Hey.
You want grace. You want grace. You want grace. You want grace.
Grace up in the place. Amanda says, my husband and I listened to Crack Village tonight. What did you listen to? That was a band I was in around the millennium. That was my rap band. We were so hardcore. We just did gigs. We didn't release stuff. We released, this is how early in the day it was. We released one 12-inch with 2 songs on it before I left and went solo. They put an album out after I left, but I wasn't on that. Only 2 songs with me, as I think I was called Kid Shifty in those days. Flyboy and Kid Shifty. They used to call me Flyboy because I wore big goggles, so I looked like a fly. Anyway, Big Bad Wolf says, so hyped, I'm surfing a MEANINGWAVE to Christmas. Tucson, Arizona. Lane Stewart, Chickasaw Territory, Oklahoma, 8999 Christmas power level. Calais, Florida, checked in. Christmas, joys of the world, the Lord has come. Let Earth receive her King. Let Earth receive her King. Richard, Florida, in the shower and super hype. Triode in Wisconsin, excited for the people Christmas brings. Yoga Mac in the clouds on the East Coast in the Port City, North Carolina. Salaman in Solana Beach. Mike Can in Western Canada. Mute Barbecue in Americaland. Got 2 small kids, so Christmas is hype level 9001. Sodra Tej out west hyped. Cameron Smith, Albany, New York, super hyped for Christmas. Walking Mall Poet, Virginia, hyped for my child to get gifts from Santa. Imagine that. Triad, I'm 40 this Saturday too. I feel like I will power into it. I feel like you will. Happy 40th birthday. Chad Comstock is also wishing happy birthday. It's a lovely place here. Everyone's very nice to each other. We wish you all the happiest of birthdays. If it's your birthday on Saturday, then I guess we'll have a birthday party for you right here. How about that? How about that? Seems like the right thing to do. Yeah. All right, ready yourself. All right. Whoa, did you hear that? Man. I'm getting that cracking. I used to want to be able to do that so bad when I was little. I'd be there like bending my fingers and no crack sound would come. All right. Hey! Thank you very much. Okay, aim back.
Dawn is good.
3, 2, 1. Hi.
Therefore, take no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. I spent a long time trying to figure out what that meant too, because it's another one of those lines that can easily be read as pro-grasshopper, an anti-ant. Remember the old fable of the grasshopper and the ant? Maybe not. I'm not going to tell it. But the ant works and the grasshopper fiddles. The ant has a pretty good time in the winter and the grasshopper dies. This is like a pro-grasshopper line, but it's not.
No.
It says something else. It says that if you orient yourself properly and then pay attention to what you do every day, that works. That works.
That works.
That works.
Go.
And you can live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning.
Count.
Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. The world shifts itself around your aim. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name in order to do something. You're an aiming creature. You look at a point and you move towards it. It's built right into you. And so you have an aim. Well, let's say your aim is the highest possible aim. That sets up the world around you. It organizes all of your perception, what you see and you don't see, your emotions and your motivation. So you organize yourself around that aim, and then what happens? The day manifests itself as a set of challenges and problems, and if you solve them properly, you stay on the pathway towards that aim, and you can concentrate on the day. And so that way, you get to have your cake and eat it too. Because you can point into the distance, the far distance. Point into the distance, the far distance. And you can live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. If everything that you're doing is related to the highest possible aim that you can conceptualize, that's the very definition of the meaning that would sustain you in your life. Well, and then the issue is back to Noah. Well, all hell's about to break loose and chaos is coming. It's like when that's happening in your life, you might want to be doing something that you regard as truly worthwhile. Because that's what will keep you afloat when everything is flooded. And you don't want to wait until the flood comes to start doing that. Because if your ark's half built and you don't know how to captain it, the probability is very high that you'll drown. You can live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning.
Live in the day. Akira The Don, Jordan B. Peterson, nuke that like from orbit. How y'all doing? Gglory. Alright.
The way I think of the psychedelics is they are catalysts to the imagination. they were back 100,000 years ago. The imagination, which was just this glimmering, this iridescence on the surface of ape cognition, was under the influence of the reciprocal feedback of self-reflection that is created by watching your own mind. Watching your own mind. Watching your own mind. Watching your own mind. Because it has suddenly become interesting, because it has suddenly been flooded by a psychoactive amine. That iridescence has been coaxed into language, art, architecture, music, poetry, the whole ball of wax. But now we know these things. We can uncover the secret of our origin. I'm very keen for the notion of what I call the Archaic revival. And the Archaic revival is this overarching metaphor that is the way for us to go to save our necks at this point. When a culture gets into trouble, instinctively what it does is it goes back through its own past until it finds a moment where things seem to make sense. And then it brings that moment forward into the present. The Archaic revival brings that moment forward into the present. The Archaic revival brings that moment forward into the present. The Archaic revival brings that moment forward into the present. When medieval Christianity no longer made sense to a major percentage of the people of Western Europe, the intellectuals of that time instinctively reached backwards into the past, looking for a stable model, and finally they
Stable.
an age of Periclean Athens. And there they found Plato, Aristotle, the dramatists, and they created classicism. Classicism was brought to birth in the 1400s, 2,000 years after the death of Plato. We are the children of this classical revival, which we call the Renaissance. Our theories of law, our theories of government, our notion of justice, all drawn from classical Greek and Roman models, brought back from the dead 500 years ago by a bunch of Italian investment bankers who thought this was a good model to hang their civilization on. Bring that moment forward into the present. The Archaic revival brings that moment forward into the present. The Archaic revival brings that moment forward into the present. The Archaic revival brings that moment forward into the present.
Weights that are a little heavier all the time, and as a consequence you develop, for example, when you go lift weights, and you do that. Bite off a little more than you can chew, you get stronger.
Chomp.
And you do that in the gym. For example, when you go lift weights, you lift weights that are a little heavier all the time. And as a consequence, you develop yourself physically and you turn into who
More.
you could be. You turn into more than you are.
More than you are. Who you could be. More than you are. More than you are. More than you are. Oh, you could be more than who you are. More than you are.
There's a mythological trope that I discuss fairly frequently about rescuing your father from the belly of the dragon or the belly of the beast. being initiated by the baboon, and he ends up contemplating himself in a dark pool, and then his father appears in the sky. And then in the Pinocchio story, when he's trying to become a genuine human being, instead of a marionette pulled by other people's strings, or a liar, or a jackass, because those are his alternate destinies, he goes down to the darkest place he can find, the bottom of the ocean, and finds the biggest monster he can look at, and inside he finds his father, and then rescues him.
More than who you are, how you could be more than who you are, more than you are, more than who you are,
Hey.
how you could be more than who you are, more than
The question is,
Oh, shoot.
one of the oldest dramatic representations we know of is St. George and the Dragon. Dragon lives in the ground, chased there by heroes of a previous generation, now and then re-emerging. Kills people, right? These are skulls around its lair. Threatens the integrity of the community, like everything unexpected does. Hero comes out,
hero comes out,
slays the dragon,
slays the dragon,
frees the treasure.
frees the treasure.
Dragons hoard gold.
Dragons hoard gold because
The thing you most need
thing you most need
is always to be found.
always to be found where you least wanna look.
to bounds where you Oh boy! Oh boy! Wow. Yo, big shouts out to Salamense. Thank you for the 33, you bad motherfucker. Says, been following since the first JBP wave. Your Naval albums changed the trajectory of my life. Forever grateful. Bless you and your family, and Merry Christmas. Yo, if that ain't nice, I don't know what is. Merry Christmas, love to you and your family. Thank you for the support. I'm glad you're here. What up, Bradley? Appreciate you, bad man. Says, Christ is King. Love you, man, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Love to you and your family. It's dragon slaying season. Hey!
Adventure alone, for the heroes of all time have gone before us, and the labyrinth is thoroughly known. We have only to follow the thread of the hero path, and where we had thought to find an abomination, we shall find a god, and where we had thought to slay another, we shall slay ourselves.
Yeah!
Where we had thought to slay another, we shall slay ourselves.
Yeah!
Where we had thought to slay another,
we shall slay ourselves! Hey! Oh, my love. My darling. Whoa! Where we thought to travel outward.
Shall come to the center of our own existence.
Oh, shoot.
Where we had thought to be alone,
we shall be with all the world. What up?
and where we had thought to find an abomination, we shall find a god. And where we had thought to slay another, we shall slay ourselves.
Yeah!
Where we had thought to slay another,
we shall slay ourselves, yeah. Where we had thought to slay another, we shall slay ourselves, yeah. We shall slay ourselves, hey. Yeah. Hey, what up, Matthew Falsey? Appreciate the support. We should be with all the world. We should be with all of the world. Gglory.
Fortunes require leverage. Business leverage comes from capital, people, and products, with no marginal cost of replication.
Go.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth.
Leverage is critical. We all know what leverage is when we use a seesaw or a lever. We understand how that works physically. But I think what our brains aren't really well evolved to comprehend is how much leverage is possible in modern society and what the newest forms of leverage are. The oldest form of leverage is labor, which is people working for you. So instead of me lifting rocks, I can have 10 people lift rocks. Then just by my guidance and where the rock should go, a lot more rocks get moved than I could do myself. Everybody understands this because we're evolved to understand the labor form of leverage.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth.
And so what happens is society overvalues labor as a form of leverage. This is why your parents are impressed when you get a promotion and you have lots of people working underneath you. This is why when a lot of naive people, when you tell them about your company, they'll say how many people work there. They'll use that as a way to establish credibility. They're trying to measure how much leverage and impact you actually have. We just automatically assume that more people is better. But I would argue that this is the worst form of leverage that you could possibly use. Managing other people is incredibly messy. It requires tremendous leadership skills. You're one short hop from a mutiny or getting eaten or torn apart by the mob. It's incredibly competed over. Entire civilizations have been destroyed over this fight. For example, communism, Marxism is all about the battle between capital and labor. Das Kapital, das Labor, right? So it's kind of a trap. So you really want to stay out of labor-based leverage. You want the minimum amount of people working with you that are going to allow you to use the other forms of leverage, which are much more interesting.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand.
Why would I put my job on the line to have an opinion? I know why. Because the ability to speak your truth is the bulwark against hell. And losing your job? That's nothing. That's nothing compared to where things can go when they go badly. For me, it was just preventative. It's like, this isn't going in a good direction. Well, should you take a risk? It's like, you don't have that choice. You're silent? That's a risk. Now, most people don't understand the risks of silence. I happen to understand the risks of silence because I've been studying them for 40 years. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. I know where corruption of speech leads. And I'm not going there. And you know, one of the things I tried to learn when I was taking apart what happened in Auschwitz and trying to put myself in the position of an Auschwitz camp guard, which, by the way, you can do if you use your imagination a bit. I wouldn't call it exactly the world's most pleasant meditative experience. Conjure that part of yourself up if you want, and that'll teach you something about what you're like. People don't do it because it's too frightening. But I know perfectly well that I could do that sort of thing. And so once I learned that I could do that sort of thing, and maybe that I could even enjoy it, I thought, okay, fine, I get it. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to live so that if that opportunity was presented to me, I wouldn't take it. Take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. And I think that's the lesson that people need to learn from the 20th century. That's what human beings did, okay? Well, we're all human, okay? So how is it that we should live so that we don't do that again? Well, part of that is to try to say the truth. Part of that is to try to say the truth. No matter what. No matter what. Because the alternative is worse. And it is worse. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. Any word. Shouts out to everybody locked in. Fool Killer, Nicholas Young, XX, Shecky, Bieber, Brooks, Chad, Smitty, Sheila, Bradley. Solomon say, Lane, Big Bad Wolf. All of y'all, I'm gonna dedicate this to you. Good. This is the story that I tell.
This is the story that I tell.
This is the story that I tell.
And look, I wasn't a cokehead. I have friends that are cokeheads. I mean, my coke use was probably, it was over a couple years, maybe once every few months.
Nuke that like button.
Times a year,
if you're grateful for the existence of Theo Von.
Point over about 3 weeks, or maybe 6 weeks, I don't know, where it had escalated. It was just kind of like once a week, and then it was like 2 or 3 times a week, you know? I mean, I'm pissed. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I wish I never even got to smoke crack. You know, I don't want to be a crackhead, but fuck. You know, I'll take a hit or two just to see, you know, what everybody's talking about. Down at the bus, down at the Greyhound, you know? But since then, you know, in this program I've learned, like, you know, I don't feel as hard as I used to. And I'm learning to have different feelings about myself. Different ways to think about myself. I don't feel as hard as I used to. And it's a program of action, though. Like, I have to work and I have to, like, go to, you know, some of these meetings. And I go to the meetings, man, it's so funny that God used, or my higher power. People say higher power, God, whatever. You know, I believe in God. I believe in God. You know, it's so much out here in, like, this business, I mean, they try to, like, make you feel like it's not cool to do that, but I'm not gonna feel that way. Because I need that. You know, in the program, too, that, you know, the AA, it's cool because it's not about the drugs and alcohol, man. You know, I never liked drinking. You know, I was never a pothead. I just started to see, like, oh man, if you'd have asked me one day, will you go to this great opportunity you have on this radio station with one of the biggest radio shows in the world, will you go on that fucked up? I said, no way. And then here I was doing something that I wouldn't have done that's when I realized, like, I wasn't even doing things that I really wanted to be doing. I don't feel as alone as I used to. I'm learning to have different feelings about myself. Different ways to think about myself. I don't feel as alone as I used to. Inside of me sometimes that wants to make me separate from other people, you know? There's something that wants to make me alone because it's part of the only way that I ever knew how to be.
Make some noise for Theo Von.
I am, I think, I will. I think I will. My hands, my spirit, my sky, my forest, this earth of mine. What must I say besides? These are the words, this is the answer. I stand here on the summit of the mountain, I lift my head, I spread my arms. This, my body and spirit, this is the end of the quest. I wish to know the meaning of things. I am the meaning. I wish to find a warrant for being. I need no warrant for being. No way of sanction upon my being. I am the warrant and the sanction. It is my eyes which see, and the sight of my eyes grants beauty to the earth. It is my ears which hear, and the hearing of my ears gives its song to the world. It is my mind which thinks, and the judgment of my mind is the only searchlight that can find the truth. It is my will which chooses, choice of my will is the only edict I must respect. Many words have been granted me, and some are wise and some are false, but only 3 are holy. I will it. I will it. What? I am, I think, I will. I am, I think, I will. My hands, my spirit, my sky, my forest. Whatever road I take, the guiding star is within me. The guiding star and the lodestone which point the way. They point in but one direction. They point to me. Oh, they point to me. I know not if this earth on which I stand is the core of the universe, or if it's but a speck of dust lost in eternity. I know not, I can't
social animal, and even many animals who aren't social, are embedded in a dominance hierarchy.
Okay, let's go.
The dominance hierarchy has a structure. We couldn't call it a dominance hierarchy. Dominance hierarchy A, B, C, thousands of them across thousands of years. What's central to all of them? That's the pyramid of value. What question do you need answered about the pyramid of value? What's at the top? Because that's the ideal. That's the eye at the top of the pyramid. The golden Buddha in the lotus. It's the same thing. The same thing as the crucifix. And that has to do with something like the voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering. 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 The voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering. These are not arbitrary ideas. They're deeply rooted in biology and culture. They're as deeply rooted in biology as the dominance hierarchy is rooted in biology. And we already know the answer to that. Dominance hierarchy has been around for 350 million years. It's a long time. You don't get to just brush that off and say, well, morality is some sort of second-order cognitive problem. It's like, no, it's not. You have a counter at the bottom of your brain that keeps track of where you are in terms of your status, and it bloody well regulates the sensitivity of your emotions. So if you're at the hierarchy, barely clinging on to the world, everything overwhelms you, and that's because you're damn near dead. And so everything should overwhelm you. You've got no extra resources. You're sunk. And if you're nearer the top, then your serotonin levels go up. You're less sensitive to negative emotion. You're less impulsive. You live longer. Everything works in your favor. Your immune system functions better, and you're oriented at least to some degree towards the medium and long-term future. And you can afford that because all hell isn't breaking loose around you all the time. And so then the question is there a way of being that increases the probability that you're going to move up dominance hierarchies? Well, that doesn't seem to be a particularly provocative proposition. The same thing as the crucifix. And that with something like the voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering.
Transcendence is suffering. Transcendence is suffering. Transcendence is suffering. Transcendence is suffering. Transcendence is suffering.
The voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering.
Okay.
Okay, so back to Jung. See, Jung believed that once we had stopped populating the cosmos with gods, that they went in. Think about it this way. Archaic person looks at the sky, uses his imagination to populate the sky. What's the sky? Well, it's the constellations. It's the domain of the gods.
Well, why?
Because the gods are what are out there beyond your understanding. That's what you see when you look up at the sky. So you populate the night sky with figures of your imagination. So the gods are the things that you broadcast out of your imagination and see spread over the world. It's like the contents of your unconscious are manifesting themselves when you encounter the unknown. It's exactly what it is. How else could it be? You're projecting your fantasy onto what you don't understand. That's how you start to cope with what you don't understand. You populate the unknown with deity. Where did they come from? They came from your imagination. Well, what happens when you take them out of the world? Do they disappear? No, they just go back into your imagination. That's the same motif as rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. It's the same idea. Is that the corpses of the gods inhabit your imagination. So where do you go if you need to revivify them? You go into your imagination.
Genius of the crowd.
Shouts out to Fool Killer who guessed this from that one word, the. He knew this was coming.
There is enough treachery.
Gglory! glory.
Hatred, violence, absurdity in the average human being to supply any given army on any given day.
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 The best at murder are those who preach against it, and the best at hate are those who preach love, and the best at war, finally, are those who preach peace. Those who preach God need God. Those who preach peace do not have peace. Those who preach love do not have love. Beware the preachers. Beware the knowers. Beware those who are always reading books. Beware those who either detest poverty or are proud of it. Beware those quick to praise, for they need praise in return. Beware those quick to censure, they are afraid of what they do not know. Beware those who seek constant crowds, they are nothing alone. Beware the average man, the average woman. Beware their love. Their love is average, seeks average, but there is genius in their hatred. There is enough genius in their hatred to kill you, to kill anybody. Not wanting solitude, not understanding solitude, they will attempt to destroy anything that differs from their concept. Those who preach God need God. Those who preach peace do not have peace. Those who preach love do not have love. Beware the preachers. Beware the knowers. Not being able to create art, they will not understand art. They will consider their failure as creators only as a failure of the world. Not being able to love fully, they will believe your love incomplete. And then they will hate you. And their hatred will be perfect, like a shining diamond, like a knife, like a mountain, like a tiger, like hemlock. Their finest art.
Hey.
Those who preach God need God. Those who preach peace do not have peace. Those who preach love do not have love. Beware the preachers. Beware the knowers.
Beware the knowers. The genius of the crowd. Akira The Don and Charles Bukowski. Charles Bukowski really reminds me of Mike from Red Letter Media. Or maybe, I guess it's the other way around. I feel they're kind of related. How you doing out there? Songs of glory. Moments of glory stitched together. Here in the land of meaning. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. How many MEANINGWAVE songs in the MEANINGWAVE catalog do you think I've tagged with the word glory? In case you're not aware, I have this system of organizing my music, wherein in my library I tag it with words that it makes me feel, words to do with it, whatever it is. Whether it's part of my DJ library or part of the Meaningwave catalog or my catalog, whatever it is, I do that with all my music. That way I can summon up vibes instantly and all manner of things. How many Meaningwave songs do you think I tagged with the word Gglory? Amanda thinks 33, Shecky thinks 77. Jason thinks 89, 69, 69 dudes. Very good, Jason. We should have made this a competition, shouldn't we? Full Killer 275. Lane Stewart 777. 2032. XX88, Black and Bluefins 53. Nicholas Young 42. Now you're all wrong. The answer is 140. 140 is the right answer. Good job that wasn't a competition, no one would have won. Speaking of winning, this stream is brought to you by meaningwave.com. Meaningwave.com. Why? Because happiness is a side effect of meaning. Visit meaningwave.com today and find yourself something delightful. Maybe read some lyrics, watch a video, buy a t-shirt, buy some vinyl, buy a cassette, buy some digital bundles, lovely digital bundles, great bundles now in FLAC. If you like CD quality, master quality FLAC, download all of them and it's half the price you would pay if you bought them individually on Bandcamp or iTunes or something like that. Very cool. There's also the resources section. People ask me every day, how can I support Meaningwave? The 0.4 cents stream that Spotify pays you seems disrespectful somehow. They say go to meaningwave.com, hit resources and support Meaningwave, and there's links there. There's a PayPal, Patreon, Bitcoin, ETH, Venmo, Cash App. And you can support Meaningwave in that manner. Should you so wish, should the spirit guide you in that direction. Meaningwave.com. More than music. Nicholas Young says, I was close, only 98 off. Closest was Marionette. That's true. That's true. That was kind of cool. Huh. I should make a song by doing that. But not right now. Right now I'm going to play this incredible record. Gglory! Wow.
I read a lot about terrible things that people have done to each other. You just can't even imagine it. It's so awful. So you don't want to be someone like that. Now, do you have a reason to be? Yes, you have lots of reasons to be. God, there's reasons to be resentful about your existence. Everyone you know is gonna die. You too. And there's gonna be a fair bit of pain along the way. And lots of it's gonna be unfair. It's like, yeah. No wonder you're resentful. It's like, act it out. See what happens. You make everything you're complaining about infinitely worse. There's this idea that hell is a bottomless pit. And that's because no matter how bad it is, some stupid son of a bitch like you could figure out a way to make it a lot worse. That's life is like? It's suffering. That's what the religious people have always said. Life is suffering. Yes. Life is suffering. Yes. What do you do in the face of that suffering? Try to reduce it. Start with yourself. What good are you? Get yourself together for Christ's sake so that when your father dies, you're not whining away in the corner and you can help plan the funeral and you can stand up solidly so that people can rely on you. That's better. Don't be a damn victim. Of course you're a victim. Jesus. Obviously. Put yourself together. You know how to do that. You know what's wrong with you, if you'll admit it. You know there's a few things you could like polish up a little bit that you might even be able to manage in your insufficient present condition. So you might shine yourself up a little bit and then your eyes will be a little more open, then you can shine yourself up a little bit more, and then maybe you could bring your family together instead of having to be the hateful, fightful, neurotic, infighting batch that you're doomed to spend Christmas with. Life is suffering. Yes. Life is suffering. Yes. So then you fix yourself up a little bit, kind of humbly, because, you know, God, you're a fixer-upper if there ever was one. And then you got to figure out how to make peace with your idiot brother, and probably not, because he's just as dumb as you, so how the hell are you going to manage that? So then maybe you get somewhere that way and your family sort of functioning and you find out that kind of relieved a little bit of suffering, although it reduced the opportunities for spiteful revenge, and that's kind of a pain in the neck. And so then you get your family together a little bit and you're a little clued in then, at least a bit, because you've done something difficult that's actually difficult. You're a little wiser, and so then maybe you could put a tentative finger out beyond the family and try to change some little thing without wrecking it. Our society is complex, and we teach our students that they can just fix it. It's like, go fix a military helicopter and see how far you get with that. You're like a chimp with a wrench. Whack! Oh, look, it's better. It's like, no, it's not better. Things are complicated, and to fix things is really hard. And you have to be like a golden tool to fix things. And you're not. And that's the other message of the West. How do you overcome the suffering of life? Just be a better person. Life is suffering. Yes. Life is suffering. Yes. Life is suffering. Yes. Life is suffering. Yes.
Good Lord.
That's how you do it. Well, that's hard. It takes responsibility. And I think, you know, if you said to someone, you want to have a meaningful life? Everything you do matters. That's the definition of a meaningful life. But everything you do matters.
Everything.
You're going to have to carry that with you. Or do you want to just forget about the whole meaning thing and then you don't have any responsibility because who the hell cares? And you can wander through life doing whatever you want gratifying impulsive desires for how useful that's going to be. And you're stuck in meaninglessness, but you don't have any responsibility. Which one do you want? Well, ask yourself, which one are you pursuing? And you'll find very rapidly that it isn't the majority of your soul that's pursuing the whole meaning thing, because, well, look what you have to do that. You have to take on the fact that life is suffering. You have to put yourself together in the face of that. Well, that's hard. Christ, it's amazing people can even do it. I'm stunned every day when I go outside, and it isn't a riot. With everything burning.
What up, though?
How come, after thousands of years of experiment, our new nation has come so far, so fast?
What up, same last name. Bienvenidos. What up, Big Bad Wolf? That's right.
Our success.
Paul Harvey.
Well, I think it had to do with a basic American's creed. Perhaps it never passed the pioneer's lips in this form, but if it had, I think he would have said something like this. I believe in my God, in my country, and in myself. I believe in my God, in my country, and in myself. I know that sounds like a trite, too simple thing to say, and yet it's a rare man today who will dare to stand up and say, I believe in my God, and my country, and in myself. And in that order. When the early American pioneer first turned his eyes toward the West, there were only Indian trails or traces, as they were called, for him to follow through the wilderness. Do you know today you can roller skate from Miami to Seattle? From San Diego to Plymouth Rock?
Glory!
In this little bitty instant, as historical time is measured, our 7% of the Earth's population has come to possess more than half of all the world's good things. How come? Well, sir, when that early pioneer turned his eyes toward the West, he didn't demand that somebody else look after him. He didn't demand a free education. He didn't demand a guaranteed rocking chair at eventide. He didn't demand that somebody else take care of him if he got ill or got old. There was an old-fashioned philosophy in those days that a man was supposed to provide for his own and for his own future. He didn't demand a maximum amount of money for a minimum amount of work. Nor did he expect pay for no work at all. Come to think of it, he didn't demand anything. That hard-handed pioneer just looked out there at the rolling plains, stretching away to the tall green mountains, and then lifted his eyes to the blue skies and said, Thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. Thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. That spirit isn't dead in our country, it's dormant. It's been discredited in some circles, driven underground, but it isn't dead. It's just that a few seasons ago, politicians baiting their hooks with free barbecue and trading a Ponzi promise for votes began telling us we don't want opportunity anymore. We don't want opportunity, we want security. We don't want opportunity, we want security. They said it so often we came to believe it. We want security. They gave us chains, and we were secure. Suddenly, with our constitutional guarantees depleted, with our national character eroding away, with our tax laws penalizing those who dare to prosper, with workers concentrating on how little they can get by with instead of how much they can produce, suddenly we looked overhead one day to discover that the first tin moon in space was a Russian accomplishment. That free men dragging their feet had been outdistanced by slave workers dragging their chains, and we were sore afraid. Perhaps this was a disguised blessing too. Maybe a dramatic accomplishment by this Cold War adversary was necessary to get us off our dead centers and back to work again. If we can revive in ourselves, then in our youth, something of that basic American's creed, the horizon has never ever been so limitless. Well, man stands now on the threshold of his highest adventure of all, his first faltering footsteps into space. 20 years from today, half of the products you will be using in your everyday living aren't even in the dictionary. We've got it made. We just keep on keeping on. We've got it made. And if we don't, we will follow those other great nation states of history, the graveyard of ignominious oblivion. History promises only this for certain. We will get exactly what we deserve. Thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. Thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. Thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. Thank you, God. Now I can take it from here. Get after it. Whoa! Perfect. You know who Akira The Don is? Of course, he's amazing.
Thank you, God, from the Freedom to Chains EP, Akira The Don and Paul Harvey. Did you know what we're doing tomorrow? If you go and hit the live tab and navigate over, you can see our forthcoming streams, because I'm mad organized. Oh look, tomorrow, a Paul Harvey Lo-Fi Christmas. Oh wow. We're going to be joined by Paul Harvey, and we're going to have a delightful Meaningwave Christmas special. I'm joined across space and time by Paul Harvey, of course. And that's going to be something very lovely. So I would press the notification button there. Notify me. Make sure you're notified. Make sure the homies are notified. All that. And we'll see you here tomorrow. How about that? That ain't nice. I don't know what is. Glory! Glory! There will be noise. There will.
You know the old question. If a tree crashes in a forest and there is nobody around to hear it, is there a noise? Yes. This question has been discussed in many futile ways. But noise, basically, is a state of affairs that requires an eardrum and an audio nervous system behind the eardrum. When the tree falls, it makes the air vibrate. If there is anywhere around an ear with the appropriate nervous system, there will be a noise. Because noise is a relationship between motion in the air and ears.
I appreciate you, not your problem.
Not any ear around, there won't be any noise, although there will be vibration in the air. And if there is some instrument around, such as a microphone attached to a tape recorder,
then.
There will be noise. There will be a vibration.
Yeah.
There will be light. In the darkness. The same way, let's suppose the sun sends out light into space. Now, the space surrounding the sun will be black darkness, as if there were no light in it, unless a planet happens to float by. When a planet floats by, there will be light.
There will be light.
In the darkness. But if there isn't anything to relate to the sun in that way, then comes no light. Now this goes right down to the root and ground of everything. It goes down to the essence of your nerves, your whole being. That it's all an interdependence. There will be noise. There will be a vibration. There will be light. In the darkness. There will be noise. There will be noise. There will be light. In the darkness. In the darkness.
What up, Julia? Julia Hines, thank you for the support. God bless you. Says, love Akira The Don, love MAZ, love you all. Glory! We're going to dedicate this one to you by Joe.
Of course, he's amazing.
Hey.
I only desire the approval of a relatively small number of people who I respect. If they said to me,
that was Julia's 10th super chat.
Then I'd listen.
Thank you, Julia.
But when it's people who don't want me to do well, then of course I'm going to listen to them. It's one of the tools we all have to hone in our lives, to work out who wants us to do well, who wishes us well, and to listen to them, even if they're critical of us, and they will be at times, and to separate out those people from people who just, of course they don't want you to do well, they hate you, hate everything about you, whatever. But I don't have much sympathy with public figures who say, I can't say what I think, I can't speak up, and all this sort of thing. If you're not going to now, when are you going to? If you're not going to in this life, what life are you expecting to come where you'll do it? The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, the person who refuses to walk with the crowd, will feel better. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, will achieve more in their lives, whatever that is, because they will have self-respect. I'm comfortable as you can be in the end times, as everything's burning down and there's plagues of locusts coming our way. And I have the satisfaction of knowing that I'm not lying. The problem with going along is that it demoralizes you. It makes you a smaller person inside. You will be demoralized because you'll know that you shouldn't have done that. And at some level you will think badly of yourself for having done it. You'll feel regretful, you'll feel cowardly, and it will affect your life in other ways. And the opposite is also true. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, the person who refuses to walk with the crowd, will feel better. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, will achieve more in their lives, whatever that is, because they will have self-respect. That's what totalitarian movements across history always knew, was that you grind people down and make them agree to lies, because you will then be able to make them do anything. Václav Havel, great late Czech leader, cites the example of a greengrocer in Prague in the communist era in Eastern Europe, who has to put up in his window, like everyone else, the notice that says, "Workers of the world unite."
And it's sent by party headquarters to all greengrowers, and you all have to hang it. Václav Havel says a number of things happen from this. The first thing is that, of course, that the greengrocer is showing to everyone that he is a party loyalist, and he wouldn't be able to operate as a business if he didn't do this thing. But it also hangs there every day as a sign of his subjugation. It's a little thing, but it hangs there as a sign of his subjugation. And it reminds him he's not the man he could be. You think you're doing a little thing, but you're not. You are diminishing your soul by doing it. Because you know that you could be something more than the person who just has to hang whatever party headquarters tells you to hang this week. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, the person who refuses to walk with the crowd, will feel better. The person who doesn't stand with the mob, the person who doesn't go along with the mob, achieve more in their lives, whatever that is, because they will have self-respect.
Wow! Good golly gosh. Douglas. A man like Douglas. Morrissey of the Meaningwave universe, some have said. Douglas Murray. The Mob. If you've not seen the music video for that, it's a banger. It's got Douglas Murray speaking and footage from John Wick. And they go together real nice. Gglory! Gglory! Ah, yeah! Oh, what a glorious thing. 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 You get to have a hard day. It is, by the way, this is crazy. One of the things that happened just before I wrote this song, I was living on Kingsland Road. Whoa. And I had a television. I used to read the independent newspaper. I'd get the bus. I had a television. I didn't like these motherfuckers. I'd been wary of them for many, many years. I ain't trusting them. I was in London, I was starting to meet people, and I was messing around in the journalism world, and I was starting to have my suspicions confirmed. And did you know, it was just a week or so before I wrote this song that I threw my television out the window. I decided one day I wasn't going to take it anymore, that I was not going to engage with the beast of what nowadays I suppose they call the legacy media or whatever, right? And I ceremoniously, I lived on a second floor flat, I picked up the TV and I yeeted it out the window. And it went boom like that, you know? And I stopped reading newspapers. And that was 20 years ago. And I ain't never looked back. And I was always good at like predicting the future in culture and trends and things like that. But I got so much better and better and better. And what I discovered was like the less one pays attention to the news and things of that nature, the more one knows. You know? And I discovered that like I became more informed, and I always seem to know more than a lot of my friends and people around me that I would meet about certain subjects and things that were going on. I was always able to spot psyops. Usually, I was pretty good at spotting psyops, you know. And part of the reason is because like news and telly and stuff like that. The one way I would think about it is it's like looking through a keyhole at a carefully set dressed room. you know, and they've laid everything out in the right places for you to look at. So you look through the keyhole and you're like, whoa, and you see all this stuff, and it's all the stuff they want you to see, you know what I mean? And you're looking through that keyhole and you think that's the world. So when you start reading newspapers and watching telly and stuff, it's like you're stepping away from the keyhole and you can look around. You're like, oh, fuck, there's a lot more world. You know what I mean? And then you can look at that world and be aware of that world. And a lot more of it isn't, even if it's just in your peripheral vision. You therefore know more of that world than the person who spent their whole time just with their eyes wedged in that keyhole, looking at that set dressed room. You know what I mean? The other way I always think about it is like if you've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, there's a bit where the character Cameron, he's having a bit of a freak out and he's in an art gallery, right? And he's looking at a painting and he's looking at the painting and he's looking at it closer and closer and closer until it's no longer an image that's clearly discernible. It's just the blobs that make up the image. And then it's just the grain of the canvas. And you can't see anything at all anymore. It's like that as well. You got your face wedged too close to the thing, you can't even see what you're looking at. And it really is crazy. I had not realized the significance of the fact that I did that. And then I made this song, and I made all the other songs that were the songs that got me my first record deal, that were the first like proper Akira The Don songs I wrote and produced myself in that apartment of mine on the Kingsland Road. Whoa. And it really does seem in retrospect to be one of those things. It's like, you know, you want something to come into your life, you got to make room. And in throwing that TV out the window and setting aside that newspaper, I made room in my life for bangers, for the capacity to execute bangers. And if that ain't nice, I don't know what is. Amanda Dances, thank you for the support. Amanda Dances just dropped her first super chat. Says, beef jerky is too expensive these days. Keep being awesome, Kansas, USA. Beef jerky always been expensive, but it's crazy now. And a friend bought me like 2 big bags of beef jerky last week. And I didn't think about the financial significance of that action. Thank you for reminding me of that and making me think of that. I'm going to have to hit her up and like really be thankful because shit, they were big ass bags of jerky. Big ass bags of jerky. Sounds like a country song. Shall we have one more song? I could be playing songs with gloriful. I could be playing, as we ascertained, I got over 150 joints tagged with Gglory in my personal library of music I've made myself that I've tagged with Gglory, you know. But let's have one more. Gglory! Gglory!
Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his glory was not like one of these.
Wow!
Wherefore, if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you?
Aye. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, ye of little faith.
Shall he not much more clothe you? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? Those are famous lines. That's sort of Christ the hippie, right? It's like, hey, let it all hang out, do your thing, and everything will come to you. But that's seriously not the proper interpretation, because there's a kicker with this. And the kicker is this. For your heavenly Father knows you have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. But ye of little faith.
Are ye of little faith? Are ye of little faith? Are ye of little faith? That's the love. That's the love. Are ye of little faith?
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
That's a lot different than the hippie thing, Bucko. That's a lot different than the hippie thing, right? That's a lot different than the hippie thing, Bucko. That's a lot different than the hippie thing, right?
That's a lot different than the hippie thing. That's a lot different than the hippie thing, right? That's a lot different than the hippie thing.
That's a lot different than the hippie thing, right?
There's a very, very, very interesting idea here. It's certainly one of the most profound ideas that I've ever encountered. If you configure your life so that what you are genuinely doing is aiming at the highest possible good, then the things that you need to survive and to thrive on a day-to-day basis will deliver themselves to you. If you dare to do the most difficult thing that you can conceptualize, your life will work out better than it will if you do anything else. Well, how are you going to find out if that's true? There's no way you're going to find out whether or not that's true unless you do it.
Yeah! You have to be all in this game.
All in this game.
Yeah, you have to be all in
this game.
All
in this game.
Are ye of little faith? 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 Hey. That was Meaningstream 461. Songs of Glory. We played a few of them. A little amount. What was it? 30? No, less than that, because there was instrumentals. Maybe like 20. Songs of Glory. Thank you all for being here, you beautiful creatures. Remember, meaningwave.com is indeed brought to you by the Meaningstream. Head on over to the Meaningstream at meaningwave.com. Grab yourself something nice. Read some lyrics. Download some music. Hit the resources tab. Support Meaningwave. All that. Check out the live tab on YouTube if you looked in live, and book your appointment to see the next streams that are coming up. You know what I mean? You won't want to be missing tomorrow. We got a Paul Harvey Lo-Fi Christmas. You won't want to be missing the Meaningwave Office Christmas party on Friday. Fuck. You know what I mean? You won't want to miss us on Saturday, soundtracking your rapping and having a happy birthday party for one of our homies. You don't want to miss Christmas Eve when we're going in. Big Bad Wolf says that holographic tea is fire. You already know. You already know.
Triad says plenty left for volume 2. Yo, we could be doing this every day for many days. Maybe we will. Hey, Co-Chief, thank you. He sent me 10 euros and a sticker that says thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Bad motherfucker you. Bradley says, hope I can be here all week. Fool Killer says, I'm already there. We appreciate you, Fool Killer, and we're glad you're here. Blessing us with the present that is your presence. Yeah! Oh, yeah, little fire. Oh, yeah, little fire. Oh, yeah, little fire. Oh, you little fire. Manana babies. Make sure you beat the shit out that like button and leave a comment on your way out, and we'll be seeing you very, very soon. Hey, what up, Eggman?